everyone. Let me get all the water off my mouth. Alright, hello! Welcome to today's live. I thought we'd do something a little bit different because I've been doing a lot of work on like small things this week, but nothing I can really show you because it's for my big secret project. It's for the petticoat that if you follow me on Instagram, you saw how that's going. And then I did like a sleeve alteration for my friend, but he's already picked it up, so I can't show you that. Nor would there really be much to show because we just like shorten the sleeves. Pretty basic stuff. So in lieu of all of that, I thought I would bring you guys over to my little sewing corner and that we would just sew together. So I have my sewing machine, I've got the serger behind me. These two are pretty much permanently set up in those places. But I also broke out the ironing board. Usually I do all of my ironing on my collapsible table. But I thought for like ease of movement today, we would use the ironing board and the iron, of course. I have a shirt project that I'm going to be sewing that I think will take roughly about an hour, if not less than. If we still have time when we're done with the shirt, I do have the matching skirt that is mostly done, but not quite all the way. So we can finish that together too. Anyway. I finally found buttons for my orange button-up, which I don't have upstairs with me. So I'm going to finish the buttons on both of those. And my squirrel sweater, which is also not up here, just needs one sleeve done, and then I can do the finishing work on that. So I have, like I said, I have a lot of things I've been working on, just nothing really to show you guys. But that's why we're sewing today. If you guys liked this form of live stream and you guys want to do more like chatty sewing projects things, then let me know. I am more than willing to just like turn on the camera for an hour while I work. Especially in the new year when you guys know what the big secret project is, we can like work and do that. Oh, you guys are chatty. This is gonna make it fun. Okay, so like grab some water, grab a snack, like grab a project. Let's just hang out and sew today. By the way, I will be eating my popcorn, so if you're like one of those people that's just like, I don't like it when people eat while they're like on a live stream or in a video, then this isn't the one for you. I will see you guys next week. Just so you know. Yeah. So let's talk about this project real quick. When I posted pictures of like me organizing my fabric stash like a couple months ago, pretty much all of Instagram was in love with this hedgehog fabric. So this is a flannel hedgehog fabric that I found at my local fabric store. I think it's super cute. There we go. Those are the pieces I didn't want to lose. And for some reason, I thought it was like a spring fabric, but it's like, obviously the hedgehogs are playing in like falling leaves. So, like that's a thing. But, as you guys can kind of see, this is just going to be like another dolman top, like the winter hedgehog. Only it's going to be short sleeve, and then we're going to be putting a cuff on the sleeve because I think that detail's cute. And it turns out from just like a simple thing into like something more, a little bit more stylized. I think I am going to have to cut the neck hole bigger. Probably not in the back, but maybe in the front. I think it just needs to be an inch wider, if I'm being honest, so that way my head will fit through. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it being a little bit wider either. So currently where it's cut, because I use the same block pattern for this one as I did for the shirt I'm wearing, currently it'll sit here. So if it sits about an inch further out or an inch and a half further out, it's not going to be the end of the world. So you guys are throwing comments. So mostly enjoy that popcorn. I will enjoy my popcorn. As you can tell, the shirt is also really long and has a tail because I prefer long shirts with tails. So probably not needed for this casual of a shirt, but I really like tails on my shirts. So that's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut the neck hole bigger, and then we will get started on stuff. This project's not gonna take very long, like at all. Oh, let me check my stash of bias tape. Do you guys like ever buy bias tape for like a very specific project and then like you don't use all of it, so it just ends up in a stash and you're like, well, what the hell am I going to do with like this purple bias tape? Like there's now no purpose for the rest of it. Anyway, I was thinking about putting bias tape around the neck to make it lay nice and flat, but I think if we do a tiny enough hem, we'll be just fine. So, all right. So I think I'm gonna cut the neck hole like a 1/2 inch wider, and then if we do like a 1/2 inch, which would be a 1/4 inch double fold hem, that would be a full inch wider. As long as I can get through my head through it. Okay, we're gonna play with this. We're gonna start with 1/2 inch because I don't want it to end up too wide and it like looking like some sort of like 80s revival thing. Not my style. Like off the shoulder. I don't want it to like go off the shoulder at all. Absolutely, I've had the same neon yellow bias tape for like 6 years. I would just say put it like, I don't know what you do with random bias tape. I'm not the person to ask. I'm not the person to give advice for that. Oh, I am gonna warn you guys right now, both my sewing machine and the serger are like really loud, so sorry about that. Like if this was like a normal video, I would just like cut the audio for that, but that's not gonna be a thing. So put that inside a coat. You could put that bias tape like right on the edge, like between like a lining and like the fabric. Anyway. Okay, so the first step is to sew the back and the front together at the shoulder seams to make sure the neck hole will go over my head. Because that'll be easier to do if I do it before the body. So I'm gonna try not to move you guys like a horrible amount because like I get motion sickness when I rewatch them, and so I'm sure some of you do too. But when I'm sewing, and then when I'm doing stuff over there, I'm doing stuff over there. So alright, anyway, shoulder seams. moment of truth, guys. I'm gonna check for comments for... Remember, your pieces are 1/4 the size you need. Yeah, so I'm more worried about it like fitting over my head than anything else. So, which I think this will do, and it'll give it a nice casual big neckline. So, do it this way. Yeah, that's what we want. Cool. It could actually probably be lower in the front. Yes, I'm using the camera as a thing. So I'll probably cut that lower. Because I want it to hit there, so I probably need to just cut it 1 inch lower. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna cut this and then I'll come right back to you guys. Awesome. Alright. Your machine isn't that loud. It's really pleasing to most of us. Good. Well, I'm glad. Cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is do these underarm side seams. And then I'm going to finish all of those raw edges with my serger. So let's do that. We're totally going to finish this shirt like before an hour's up. We're like already almost halfway through. Oh, heavens. One side seam and the other. Alright, the serger is much louder than my sewing machine, just for you guys, just so you guys know. At least I feel like it is. I don't know, I could be wrong. Do I have Joe with me now? No, I was busy running errands earlier today. So we actually sold my car, just because we didn't want to keep up with the repairs on it. So we sold that, so I had to go take care of that today, and then, we're doing, like a homemade Christmas gift for my father-in-law, so I had to go get those supplies today, and, ever since the pandemic started, I don't like taking Joe outside of the house. I'm sure that, like, he is at no danger. It's just one of those, like, protective mom things. And then I pretty much came home and set up my workspace and have been working since. So I haven't really had time to, like, well, I haven't made the time to grab him today, but I will make sure he gets some scritches and snuggles later. But, okay. So, next step, I get the protective mom instincts. Yeah, it's a thing. Alright, next up, I think I'm going to just go ahead and hem the collar as well as like the hem of the skirt. And then we'll do the cuffs last. And then the shirt will be done. If you like ever wanted to make one of these and you just didn't want the fancy cuff detail, literally we've been chatting for like 17-18 minutes now, and I haven't been sewing the whole time. So that's how quick these shirts work out. This is why I like them. They're also super comfy, and I think they just look cute. So, alright, we need to stay inside out, because that'll be easier to do this. Alright, itty bitty hem on the neckline. Should make it easy to go around the corners. Oh no. Alright. So my machine does this thing where if the needle is not in like the correct position, it skips stitches. So we just started skipping stitches because the needle position wasn't great. It's old, it's finicky. I should probably get it looked at, but you know, plague and everything. missed some comments. Nope. Okay. Yeah, that baby hem is all I needed. All right, doing that on the bottom. Okay. We just got people driving by my street, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I think they just came and picked someone up. Sometimes like getting it around like the shirt tails is hard, especially because I don't, you know, pin or press beforehand, but it works. It usually comes out really nice. So that's done. So we just need to put the cuffs on. Do you guys want details on how I put the cuffs on so they're not like, they're applied cuffs is usually what I call them, instead of like when you cuff pants you do it with the extra fabric? So let me know. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. I mean a couple seconds. I'll have some of my popcorn. Alright, I got a guess. In case anyone's curious, the popcorn I am eating is called Simply Salted. It's like an Orville Reichenbacher thing. It's delicious. If you don't like overly buttered popcorn, it's like a lightly buttered, heavily salted popcorn. It's great. I like it better than movie theater popcorn. Alright. Details. I had 2 people say yes. That's enough for me. I will show you guys the details. I'm also probably going to make like just a normal video on how I make this style of shirts. That'll probably come out in the summertime. Just so you guys know, I will, just because my lives don't live forever, I will make it in a video format that will. Okay, so here we go. Moving you guys over here. So the first thing is to make the cuffs the exact size that we need. So I cut them the size from like here to here, but because we only have 1 seam allowance in the cuff, and then 2 in the shirt, we need to make sure that the fold lines up with the top seam allowance, and then cut accordingly. So now that that's going to be the correct length, I'm going to sew the cuffs together. So 1 cuff, 2 cuffs, so that way they form a tube. I'll do that real quick and then be right back. Alright, so we've got our tubey thing. Where's the pins? Here's the pins. Cool, so I'm turning the shirt right side out because that's how I prefer to work at this stage. So I'm going to find the center of this loop and mark it so that way I can put it on the top seam allowance, like that shoulder seam. I'm doing that for both of them. We can toss that a little bit. The other thing that I like to do is I like to make it so when I'm edge stitching or top stitching this together, I'm working with the top side of the fabric instead of the underside. Like I'm sewing down the top side. So that's the way that why I put things together the way that I do. You see me do that a lot in the shirt making videos that I mentioned last week, which is the lemon shirt and the pin shirt. So I'm putting right side in the loop to the wrong side of the shirt, which just allows me to do that. Let's make sure that's going. Cool. Just making sure my seam allowance is towards the back. I could have pressed that and then it would be easier, but that's not how we're working today. There are times when I'm like, yes, we will do everything by the book. And then there are other times when I'm just like, meh, I'm good. Well, not. I do like trying to make sure my seam allowances are all going the same way so they don't like roll and look weird when the shirt is finished. Alright, this should now fit very nicely in there. You can throw a couple more pins in if you want. I'm comfortable with just the 2. So that's how I do that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So again, right side to wrong side. Making sure seam allowances are where they are. Oh no, where'd the pin go? It's on the wrong side. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to go sew around the armholes, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. This is when I realized I did things out of order, but that's okay. I should have pressed these in half, the cuffs in half first, but that didn't happen, so it's okay. Whenever I forget to do that, I usually just fold it in half and pin it. And I always leave, like, pin it towards the top of the fold. That's what I usually do. And I'll show you guys why in a minute once I get this. Get a couple more pins in here. Oh, I forget to press things all the time, honestly. Most of the time I don't even heat up my iron when I'm working on quick projects like this, just because I will forget it's there. Anyway, so I have the pins in that are now like marking where the fold is. So now I can turn this seam allowance up and throw a pin in to hold it in place. So if we do that, every so often. Cool. So now that that's all pinned down, the next step would be to edge stitch here, but I've got to do that to the other sleeve. So, ugh. Here we go. So next top step, like I said, is to top stitch it. It's more like edge stitch because it's going to be really close to the edge. Yeah, I will do that and be right back with you guys. And I'll show you how to turn. I mean, this is pretty cute the way it is, but we're actually going to be like turning it because I think that's cuter. So, yeah, I'm going to edge stitch this. Actually, I'm going to bring you guys with me so that way you can see it. Let's see. Needles in the correct position. I'll just take this off. Let's start at the bottom. Still going. Love you. Forgot to warn the husband that I was doing a sewing live instead of a chatty live. Alright, so let's take all the pins out of this one because we don't need them anymore. I'm also going to close my door because he's, I think, cooking dinner. That should help block out any ambient noise. Alright, so let's do this sleeve. Cool. Ah! Try not to tip over my water. Alright. A cut hem attachment for your sewing machine? Those are things? Why didn't I know that? I'm sure that's cheaper than like a serger too. That's really cool. Okay. So this is put on. You can leave it like this or you can be like me and fold it. what we're going to do is fold it to where we want it, which is just over, like, so you can kind of feel where the, what's it called? Seam allowance is, and you're folding it like at that point. So, like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's folded past where you just did the edge stitching is what you want. And then to hold that in place, I'm going to put a tack stitch right on the seam line, and I'm actually going to put another one up on top. Otherwise it would just fall down. So I'm going to do those really quick on both sleeves, and then we'll give the whole thing a good press, and then we'll have the shirt done. And it's been 50 minutes, says the timer. So it's a 1-hour shirt. Okay. Let's put this back in. These tacks don't have to be super strong because you're not putting on like a lot of pressure on it. They're just holding the shape. The pattern matching right there, completely unintentional and almost perfect. Just throwing that out there. All right, other sleeve. Awesome. So now we got the tacks in. Now we need to press it really well, so that way the pressing is what holds it in for the most part. The tacks are just there for like after you wash it. You don't have to like try to figure out where the thing was. You can literally just go like this and then re-iron it. So time to give the whole thing a good iron. I think I will lift you guys up a bit and move you around while I iron. Trying to make sure it's not like a horrible lighting angle for you guys. All right. Cool. Just reading comments real quick. Okay. See, if you're like a good sewing person, you like press as you go along. I give things like a really nice good press at the end. But you know, I don't follow best practices. thought I just threw pins everywhere. Ooh, I'm kind of excited about this neckline. This ironing board does not feel stable at all. Magnetic pin bowl. It's on the list. I'm just trying not to spend a lot of money on supplies right now. And I have like 6 or 7 pin cushions, like different pin cushions that if I used instead of like this tiny tray, I would be fine. But I just am not using my pin cushions. All right. Cool. And we're done. Let's get up and what's the best way to do this? I move you guys over here. Yeah. So we'll take this shirt off of Betsy. Please don't mind how broken she is. I have not put her back together yet. Oh, where's the front? That's the front. All right. There's the shirt. Nice, super casual, kind of looks like a pajama shirt. I mean, it could be, but it's not the intention behind why I made it. How do I get it? There we go. It's nice and long. Oh, I love long shirts. So, ta-da! Nice and long. Oh, this is gonna be so comfy. And it's like super cute. Okay. Alrighty. I will like try my best. Okay. So yeah, that's this shirt. We made it together in less than an hour. I think with cutout time, it would probably take about an hour. And if you didn't do the cuffs, it would take less time. If you chose to do other details, it would take more time. So I'm probably gonna make a bunch more of these because they're vintage-y. So if you look at a lot of like the vintage patterns, they have a lot of dolman sleeves on them. So they're like, I consider them vintage adjacent. So they blend in really well with like my historical vintage wardrobe, but also like I can wear them with jeans and they look totally modern and casual. So you got an entire skirt done in less time it took me to change the placemats of elastic ties on dog clothes. I mean, I sew really fast if this isn't obvious. So, yep. I'll show you guys the skirt real quick. So the skirt just needs its waistband. Well, the next step would be putting a zipper in the side seam of the skirt and then putting the waistband on, and then hemming it. So I am like really close to finishing this skirt. But let's do it this way. So this is very similar to the orange plaid skirt is what it's going to look like, only instead of pleats it's gathers, but it has the same slant pockets on it. So it'll look like a dress when it's together, and then it'll just be cute. I can wear them as separates. Like my skirt, I swear this is my favorite skirt. Like, I swear this is my favorite skirt and the one that I always wear, and I think it's because of the volume. So I need more voluminous skirts. I will work on it. Anyway, so I think it'll go cute with like skirts and things. I think it'll go really cute with like my orange stuff. Let's just play for a second. I know we're over an hour, but let's just play. Yeah, I'll probably layer. All right. I will see you guys live next week. It'll be the last live for the year, because the week after that is Thanksgiving in the US, and then it's December, and I'm taking December off. Yeah, I have new videos coming out. I think Monday is the ones on the pockets, and then it's going to be the Elsa reveal video, and what did my phone just do? Is the audio back? Okay. All right. Where did I cut off? Probably around, I don't know. You guys tell me. Oh, upcoming videos are just normal videos. They're nothing fancy. The Joe Kate video is coming in December. The big secret project announcements coming in December. And a goal setting video. So, the next live will be in, well, after next week, the next live will be in January. And we will be talking about the big secret project, which I'm excited about. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. I will see you all live next week and on Monday for a new video. Bye guys!